All right, there's light again. You guys can see me, so that's good. I'm gonna start cooking. I've got some water in this pan. I'm gonna put some broccoli in basic meal tonight. I'm gonna steam some broccoli in this pan. I'm gonna sear those steaks. A little butter on the broccoli, a little salt and pepper. And that's gonna be my dinner for tonight. Maybe a nice glass of red. But show you how these things work. They light right up. Usually on the second unless I run out of gas. So I've been using these canisters. You really can't see me doing this, can you? Been using these canisters. They're pretty handy. I don't want to leave a big propane tank in my car, so I use these. I could get a propane tank and put it out there, or run it in somehow, but there we go. I just feel these cans are much safer, and that if they do blow up, it's only going to kill me and maybe, you know, take out half the kitchen upstairs, rather than a big 20-pound can of propane. So, but cooking multiple meals a day, when I'm on the road, I only cook 2 meals a day. I've been trying to do that here, but every once in a while you need a little something in the afternoon. Let's try this again, shall we? There we go. Gonna put that on a medium heat to get the water to boil. And then this one. Put just below medium. Get some ghee out, pop it in the pan. That's going to melt. I'm going to throw some steaks on. When I throw the steaks on, a steak that thick is probably going to be 2.5 minutes a side. 2 pieces are really small. I don't know if you can see this. 2 ends from a fillet. And then the other one is just a tiny fillet from right before the end. So there'll be 3 small steaks. So with a decent heat, it's only going to be a couple minutes on each side to cook those, maybe 3 minutes tops for medium rare. It's probably going to be closer to medium. Once this comes to a rolling boil, it's going to take maybe 6 minutes to properly steam that frozen broccoli. So if I put the broccoli in, give it about 30 seconds, throw the steaks on, then flip them, and let them go another 3 minutes. Everything should be coming off just about the same time. I like everything to be hot. The one thing is these are really thin, so I don't want them to overcook. With a thicker steak, what I would do is cook it and have some lag time. So the steak comes off and it can rest for 3 minutes or so before the broccoli's done. Because like I said, I like my broccoli hot. But this time I think I'm pretty safe if everything comes off at about the same time. I'll just plate it up and eat it. But yeah, letting your meat rest is going to make a world of difference. It's going to keep the juices in. It's going to allow the inside. Have you ever cooked a steak medium rare and you cut it open and it's almost cold and raw, and that you're like, ooh, I wanted rare but not that rare? By letting it rest for 3 to 5 minutes, just take it off the grill, put it on a plate, let it sit. It's still going to be nice and warm inside for you to eat, but the internal stuff is going to come up to a proper temperature. It's going to finish cooking, and it's going to allow you to eat a nice juicy steak that you didn't have to cut open to see. Ooh, baby, that really came up, huh? Okay. We're going to pull that down. I'm going to pop this over here. Get my broccoli out now. Not everything's perfect. More water than I should have had in the pan. Gonna bring the temp up. Guess what time it is? Gonna pop some broccoli in the pan. Going to cover it. I'm not going to worry about it because the timer for the broccoli is going to be my steaks. Fold it back up, pop the elastic around it, and it's a pretty good seal. Pop that back in, latch that shut. Okay. I'm gonna get this pan heated up. It's gonna heat up quickly. Second the flame touched the bottom of that, we got things moving around, so the butter is melting. The pan is heating up. When's your oil hot enough? Coconut oils, butter, a lot of times when you put those things in the pan, you will get, like the ghee, for some reason when I put it in, and I think I must trap air under it or something, bubbles form. The heat from the pan, as that melts down to a liquid, you'll see the bubbles all across. With butter, there's going to be a point later that it gets bubbly. That's a different story. But with the ghee, when those bubbles start to pop, that means that the heat underneath is heating the air in those bubbles. They're rising and popping up. So once those bubbles are all gone, wow, which was incredibly fast. Can you see that? Once that happens, I'm just going to turn that. Well, that's too far down. Turn that down a hair. But once that happens, your pan should be hot enough. If you want to flirt with disaster, and I really don't recommend it, wet your finger and flick it in the pan from like far away, because the oil's going to bounce. If it's hot enough, the oil will start spinning. You don't want that to happen. It's really not a good way to do it, but it is a decent judge of when your oil's up to temp. Okay, too much time talking. That's starting to smoke. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3. Computer, set a timer for 2.5 minutes. Thank you. Does anyone else thank Alexa or whatever her name is? I call her computer because I'm a geek. I think there's some people out there who can appreciate that. I don't know if I should keep you around for 2.5 minutes or what. That's really warm leaning on it. I think my sleeve's going to go up in flames at any second. Oops. Anyway, but I looked casual and cool. Quarantine's really not good. My brother dropped off a box of wine for me, which is like 4 bottles. That was, I don't know, days ago. But I'm now drinking wine again every night. And I don't think I'm losing as much weight by doing that. So I think when this box is empty, that's going to be it for a while. Buy another case of San Pellegrino, and that'll have to do. I didn't wear my watch today. So just a note. I think my next kitchen, instead of spending thousands of dollars on a good fan, I'm just going to get a window like that over the stove, because it's really working well. I haven't set one fire alarm off since I've been cooking down here. So either that's a really good ventilating system, or there were no smoke detectors in the basement. I'm going to have to take a walk around and see the answer to that. Computer, cancel timer. Tips about cooking meat. And I don't care if you're in a frying pan. I don't care if you're under the broiler. I don't care if you're on a grill. When you put it down, leave it. Don't play with it. For most of us, we cook on the same stove in the same pans every day. We know how long it takes to cook an inch thick piece of meat or a 2-inch thick piece of meat. Just put it down and leave it. It'll have a much better presentation afterwards. If you're moving it around, with the exception of getting the perfect cross marks on grilled meat, because that's really important. Who doesn't want to do that? But other than that, leave it alone. Just let it sit. You know how long it's going to take. Don't cut it open to check. If you really need to check, get a meat thermometer. Stick that in. It will tell you right away. And wear reading glasses when you do that, because I have not found a meat thermometer yet that I can read without my glasses. So, but don't play with your meat. Always good advice. So, oh shoot. Well, I'll just watch it. I forgot to set a timer. I have no sense of timing. If you don't already know that, now you do. I don't have steak knife, so I'm going to have to sharpen this later. Once they started cooking, the moisture in one of those pieces of meat came out. So the thickness changed considerably from these other two pieces. And so I'm just adapting to that, adapting for that. Okay, my broccoli's done. My steaks are done. I'm going to plate it up and we'll check that out in just a minute.